Hello, how do I use Schwab stock screener effectively when it comes to swing trading? Well, there are multiple ways you can use it, but the way I found it effective for me to use it is, and you see the way I did it, from research stocks and stock screener, is to use it to filter stocks and remove some stocks that I don't want in my list to start with. So that helped me to eliminate some stocks that didn't meet my criteria of watch list that I'm creating. And I have the list, the filters here. So that stock screener allows me to pull the market capitalization type of stocks that I want to create a watch list of. That allows me to only pull stocks that sell on New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. So, and that allows me to automatically apply those two filters to the watch list and only pull stocks that pass those two filters. And if there was a way to apply this to it, that would be great as well. But this, the rest, I tend to do it manually, and it takes times to do it, but that's just the way I do it. But the screener allows me to at least filter out, stocks that didn't pass those two filter, or only, pretty much pull stocks that are already past those first two filters. So when we come back to the stock screener, they have criteria here that you can choose, and yes, you can try them to see which ones you like and see the result you get from it. What I like to do is come here and pull the market capitalizations and choose the one that I'm interested in, come back and choose the stock exchange they are selling in, and then select only the one that I want. And then I can come back because I want to see the stocks that are represented in my selection. I like to come back, and you can do it one by one if you want, but I like to select all, and there is a button to select all. But as I'm going through every single one of them, you can see from only pulling this, having 5,500 stocks sold on those two markets, pulling only this, narrow them down to 383 for me to work with. And as I'm selecting industries, is out of that 330, out of that 383 or 337, the large cap stocks sold on those two markets, we have 237. And then from those sectors represented in either large cap and sold on those two markets, we have 197. So, and in general, I can just select all the sectors as well, but I'm just going through it one by one so you can see the impacts it's having on it. So it's going to be all those 237, and then I can just try to view them, and they will be here. And from here, I can just export it as well as a CSV file. And now from here, I will go through it and start applying the other filter. So you can see that from what, over $1,000 stocks, large cap stocks, I have those here, and I can just start eliminating some, like L.L.C's partnership, eliminate those, eliminate SA, so that I can keep only corporations. LTD, for instance, those need to be eliminated. So then I'll be going through them and eliminate those. So that is how I effectively use that filter. But it's not the only way you can use it. You just have to find, based on your swing trading strategy, how much more you can put, how much more usefulness you can find that screener to be. But manually I will apply that filter 3 and eliminate filter 3 and 4 and eliminate them the way I'm doing it. And then I will trying to use a maximum monthly chart to determine how long ago they went public. So we can go back and take Apple for instance, and going back, and I can just put AAPL, and putting AAPL for instance, I will go to the chart by doing show more, and here I will try to have maximum monthly chart. If it's now by default, I will select it and select it there, and between weekly and monthly I will select monthly. By doing that though, it will just tell me how long, how far back they have information on it here. So we have 1/2/1981, and then I'll let's just come back to my watch list here, because I have Apple in it that I don't have that information about, and I will just add that information to it as well. I think it's here, 1981. But then I will complete this session. It was not originally in my watch list here, and when I added, I didn't add those, so I will add those to it. And I have Tesla that I added this year that I need to complete as well. But that is how I effectively use the stock screener. So now that I know how long they have been around, that I can now look at the chart here, and I know that this chart is upward. Like if I'm looking at the beginning, I'm looking at now. You want to trace a straight line, it's going to be oblique. The price is selling. You have the date, you have the price here on the y-axis, the price here which is like close to 0, and the price now which is close to 250 2cc, so that is the growth there. So there is growth in it, and at no point really that is trying to come all the way down to the beginning level here. So there is a growth in it. And if I have a big jagged teeth, then I will say growth and dip. So I like to keep in my watch list the one that are growth and dip or upward, and just take downward or level stocks out. So I'll go through that elimination process to eliminate more out of it, and that's how I did it to create my master watch list. From here, every year for the past 2 years or so, I will review the list, analyze them using maximum monthly chart, and to pull stocks to create my watch list that I will swing trade from during the year. And for 2026, we create this list of those stocks, 203 stocks, and 59 of investment type of stocks that we are going to swing trade as well. But I've been moving some stocks from this list to the investment list depending on how, if I see like they have slow growth, I'm moving them to more investment list, meaning that I'm going to keep those for more than 2 years before I sell them because of how they are growing. So that 203 stocks is decreasing while that 59 stock is increasing. But that is how effectively I use Schwab stock screener in my swing trading. Today is February 2nd, 2026, and we are going to analyze MTB. And again, to continue that example with Apple, since we went through some of the screeners with it and we got it to our, it passed all the criteria to get to our watch list, and now to our master watch list. Now to be on our watch list for the year, I will use Thinkorswim platform monthly maximum monthly chart because it show me more about the stocks graph than Schwab one. So I use Thinkorswim platform. Is free if you have a Schwab account. I use it to analyze those stocks that I'm going to create a watch list of for the year that I'm going to swing trade from. So, and by looking at it here, I'm more looking at all-time highest price and the valley line. Is growth, that do I see growth at the valley line? Do I see growth at the top of the mountain? So, and then yes, and because I want to see all-time highest price to be within the last 2 years. Anything past that is enough for me in the past, and this year is more like investment that I'm moving it to investment list. But this year also, or end of last year, it reached all-time high. So yes, for that to be on the watch list of this year, and then I will decide which value line am I willing to buy at using long option and swing trading strategy, and that will be this line that I'm willing to buy on. So that is how I use Schwab stock screener. It does not do all the work for me, but it allows me to at least, it does the first two filters for me, and then I'll continue the rest manually in my watch list creation. MTB. So MTB we are going to analyze today. I have this value line that I like to buy at, and this value line went through multiple ones of those stocks, but because I'm trying to see to reach multiples, and I noticed that 2020 and 2008 or 9, those economical crisis time, it tend to have a dip. So I don't need to really go through this area because chances are it just went even further down during those two crises. That's why it passed through those areas as I'm trying to get to the others. So I'm willing to buy it here, but is it the time to buy it now? No, it's on its way up. Seems to be following this support line here, claiming up for the time being. So I had to wait on it to come back down to the value line that I like to buy it at. So it'll be somewhere here, but I want to get it somewhere here. But again, it's just going to go through multiples of here. So therefore, I'm just going to have it like this. But yeah, there is a chance it could outdo this one, so it didn't really come back down before it start going up. So I'm just going to wait for that to come back down to this valley line before I buy. So it is now a buy for me yet with long Uptrend swing trading strategy that I'm using. Other swing trading strategy you'll be able to buy it now as well, but now with the strategy that I want to use. Last time the markets opened, it closed on green, so that means the price at the end of the day that day was higher than the price in the morning. But again, there is a lot of swing trading strategy out there, and a lot of them are good. If people are using it, it's because they must be good. The one that I'm using, I like it, and with that strategy, I like to buy at the valley and sell it around the peak. So therefore, I had to wait for that to come down here for me to buy, because if I purchase it and I don't sell it on time, it's done with this growth, claiming the mountain. It will come back down and I'll get stuck in it until it comes back up again. So I'm trying to avoid that and just wait to buy at the valley line. So thank you so much for watching our videos. We thank you very much for your time. Thank you for all your comments, and we thank you very much for subscribing to our channel. I'm Afiavi Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and in sub.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And swing trading is one way to make money. Just start small and grow your account from there. For more swing trading videos in this series, please check the playlist in the description of this video. How to start swing trading step by step using long Uptrend line, and we do have other swing trading related playlists in the description of this video as well. Thank you. Happy swing trading.